Very important. What are the two criteria for an oscillation to be simple harmonic? Mashur. Okay, I'm going to write only. Tell me, what are the two important criteria?
One is the centripetal force should be directed to the mean position.
The question is, what are the two criteria for a motion or oscillation to be simple harmonic? The acceleration or force is directed towards, as Sanjita said, towards mean position. Okay, that means mean position means against the displacement, towards the mean position, which is opposite to the direction of displacement. Okay, this is the first criteria. And how will you show this in the equation? By a negative sign. Okay, so one, the acceleration, right? Centripetal acceleration, or the other one, the force, or the force. The force should be directed towards the mean position, which means opposite to the direction of displacement. What is the second criteria? The acceleration or force is proportional to displacement.
Yes.
Okay, so for this to be true, how will be the displacement equation? Y should be equal to, what is the displacement equation? If you start from, okay, let this be the pendulum. Okay, if t is equal to 0, that means if you start timing from the extreme position, what is the equation? If you start, now this is the mean position, this is the extreme position, right? If you start timing the oscillation from the extreme position, when t is equal to 0, the particle is at the extreme position. What is the equation? Oh, that means what? If the particle is here, you are taking the foot of the perpendicular along the x-axis. The particle starts from here, goes to this, goes to this, goes to this, goes to this. When as the particle, this is what I explained in last class. Please don't make me repeat again. As the particle goes around the circle, the foot of the perpendicular makes simple harmonic motion along the along this one. Okay, that means if you start from here, the particle can go here, here, like that. That means it's along the x-axis. So if you start from the extreme, then the equation is x is equal to a cos theta, which is omega t. And what is omega? 2 pi f. A cos 2. Okay, and if you start timing when t is equal to 0 at the mean position, then that means, okay, if that we can think, right? If t is equal to 0, that means when we start timing, the object is at the mean position. Here, where is the mean position? This is the mean position, right? So when the particle is at the mean position in the beginning, then what is its displacement? Displacement from the mean position, 0 in the beginning. Then it goes up. For example, if the particle is here, you are taking the foot of the perpendicular to the y-axis. Only then here it can be 0. Otherwise, if it is here, then initially the initial displacement is maximum. So in this case, if you start timing, so this is at this position. This is the equation for this one. Now the equation for this will be along y-axis, which is a sine omega t. and this will be a sine function. This will be a cosine function. Okay, so this is what we did. And then whatever way you think, okay, if in the x position, x is equal to a cos omega t. So therefore, what is v? Velocity equation, a minus a omega cosine
omega t.
Omega t. What is the acceleration equation?
A goes to negative
Minus opposite to the displacement, minus a omega square
sine omega t.
cos omega t. Okay, this is what we did. Now, similarly, if you start from y is equal to a sine omega t, therefore v is equal to a omega cos omega t, and I gave you the graphs, very important graphs, how they differ. And acceleration is equal to minus a omega square or omega square a sine omega t. And all these things I told you earlier, please go through how to draw the graph actually. Whatever is the case, so here you can write this a sine omega t is y minus omega square y. And here this a cos omega t is our x. Therefore, acceleration is minus omega square ex. Okay, whatever way we do, we will get acceleration proportional to x, and it is opposite to the displacement. This negative sign shows that acceleration is opposite to the displacement, and in both cases same thing, acceleration is proportional and opposite to displacement. So this is what we did last class, and the graphs also we did. What we are going to do is when the particle assume is either here or at the extreme position. So this is the extreme, this is the mean position. What is the energy and how is the energy change of the particle? All right. So the kinetic energy Ek is, what is the formula? Half mv square. Okay. Now let's take this y equation. Sine equation, you can do it by yourself. So if it is y, what is the velocity? What is the velocity? So which is equal to half m into velocity is equal to a omega cos omega t. That means v square will be a square omega square cos square omega t. Okay, so on simplifying, what do you get? Half m a square omega square. Now, cos square omega t or a square cos square omega t. A square cos square omega t. Okay, this can be written as is equal to, we know that sine square theta plus cos square theta equals
1.
Sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Therefore, cos square theta is equal to
Sine square
1
theta.
minus sine square theta. Okay. Here, what is y? Sorry, what is y? Y is equal to a sine theta. Okay, a sine theta, which is y equals a sine omega t. Now, what is y square? Y square is equal to a square sine square omega t. You understand? Okay, similarly, what do we need? We need a square cos square omega t. So cos square omega t is equal to what? 1 minus sine square theta. Okay. So this is equal to a square. A square is common. So cos square omega t is 1 minus sine square omega t. Understood? Did you understand? This cos square, now from here we are going to make it shorten. This cos, we are going to take a square cos square omega t. We know that, so a square, I wrote it just like that. Cos square omega t is equal to 1 minus sine square omega t, which is equal to, you multiply inside a square minus a square sine square omega t, which is equal to a square minus, what is a square omega square sine omega t? What is a sine omega t? A sine omega t is what? Y. Therefore, a square sine square omega t is nothing but y square. Okay. So what is this actually? This is only a square cos square omega t. A square cos square omega t is equal to a square minus y square. Now put it back over here. Now, what all things I took? A square I took it out, right? A square I took out. So the remaining is m omega square. M omega square into, what is a square cos square sine omega t? A square minus y square. Clear? This is the general equation for kinetic energy of a particle at any position. Now, therefore, you can find when is kinetic energy maximum. When is kinetic energy maximum? Kinetic energy maximum means this quantity is maximum. For this quantity to be maximum, y must be from a square. If you subtract the minimum quantity, then you will get this maximum, right? Are you getting the point? You did not get it. Okay. See, look here. This is the equation for kinetic energy of a particle. Okay. So imagine that this particle is making simple harmonic motion. Hello. Are you getting? So at any position, at any displacement, here y is a variable, any position, its kinetic energy can be found by this equation. If I want to know what is the maximum value of the kinetic energy, look at the equation. M is a constant, omega square is a constant, amplitude is constant, the only variable is y. Are you getting? This is how you have to think. Then for this to be maximum, you must subtract 0 from a square. If you subtract a large quantity from a square, then the whole term will be 0. Then the kinetic energy will be 0. I want kinetic energy maximum. For kinetic energy to be maximum, this y must be 0. That means you should not deduct anything from a square. Okay. So that means half m omega square a square. Okay. For kinetic energy to be maximum, y must be 0. And where is y 0? Where is y 0? Displacement is 0 where? Mean position. So at the mean position, you have got maximum kinetic energy. Is that understood? This is the maximum. Half is constant, m is constant, omega square is constant, amplitude is the maximum displacement. Okay, so this is the formula for maximum kinetic energy. If so, what is the minimum kinetic energy? Minimum kinetic energy you will get when a square minus this one should give you 0. How can you have this term 0? Why? No. If y is 0, that means this a square is there, which is maximum. So when this be 0? When no, a cannot be 0. A is fixed. When y, okay, I want this to be 0. For this to be 0, you have to make somewhere here 0. When y is equal to a, when is the displacement? When is the displacement is equal to, this is the amplitude. When is the displacement and amplitude same? When the particle is at the extreme position. So y is equal to a. That means the particle is at the extreme position. Are you getting it? When the particle is over here, it has got 0 kinetic energy. When the particle is at the mean position, it has got maximum kinetic energy. Okay? Yes. So this is kinetic energy variation. Similarly, what is the potential energy? How will you find the potential energy of a particle undergoing simple harmonic motion? Potential energy is half omega square, same thing only you will get. Potential energy is equal to half m omega square y square. Okay, the derivation is not required. Similarly, potential energy is equal to half, there is a negative sign, okay, half m omega square y square. Earlier, what did you get? Earlier, you get half m omega square, just like that. A square minus y square. Okay, very important. You take down this equation. Yeah. So here, what do you have? Here, there is no a square minus y square. Potential energy is nothing but half m omega square y square. This is the potential energy equation. Now you find out when is potential energy maximum. Potential energy is maximum when you think about this one. When is the potential energy maximum? Okay, if this is the pendulum, and if you raise a bit, assume that it comes over here. This object was over here before. Work done on it displaced this one from that side. So that means you will have potential energy maximum when y is equal to amplitude. When the particle, okay, is at the maximum displacement, that time potential energy is maximum. So EP max is equal to negative of m omega square a square. Now, when will you get similar quantity over here? M omega square a square, see, kinetic energy maximum. That is what you got as potential energy also. So both have same formula, same answer. So this is the formula for potential energy. This is the formula. Yeah. And what is potential energy minimum or where? So where does it happen? Potential energy is maximum at extreme positions. Now, where is potential energy minimum? For potential energy to be minimum, y must be 0. Okay, and when is, okay, when at mean position. Okay, and what will be the value at mean position? At mean position, y is 0. Yeah, so since y is 0, EP minimum is 0. Okay. Where? Where? Ah. Because see, look here, we have half mv square. This is the basic equation. When you put we got half m a square omega square y, because v is equal to this. When you square it, you will get all these things. Now I wanted to remove this cos square, so what I do? A square cos square theta, I took it as a square minus y square. That is this step. 1 minus sin square, okay, then a square multiplied inside, a square this one, therefore a minus y square. So that is how you got this one. So please take it down and try to do it by yourself, otherwise you will forget. Potential energy is half m omega square y square. And this is potential energy at the extreme. Potential energy is minimum when y is equal to 0. When y is equal to 0, then this is negative. Okay, so now how to put it on a graph? Okay, how can you show the variation in the kinetic and potential energy in a graph? Assume that, okay, EK and EP in a graph. Assume that this is the mean position. Displacement always starts from the mean position. And this is the extreme position. This also is the another extreme position. Okay. Now, if you take potential energy, where is potential energy? Okay, where is potential energy minimum? At y is equal to 0. So if I am going to draw the potential energy, it is minimum over here and it is maximum at the extreme. So it's maximum. Let this be the maximum value. So from mean position, the potential energy increases like this. And this is the other maximum. So the potential energy is like this. So the potential energy is maximum. This is the graph for potential energy. Similarly, if I draw the graph for kinetic energy, where is kinetic energy maximum? In our equation, we saw that kinetic energy is maximum at the mean position. And at the extreme positions, kinetic energy is 0. So it decreases like that. Clear? This is kinetic energy. But at any point, if you add the total kinetic and potential energy, okay, this plus this, you will get a graph which is here. Okay, and again, if you add these 2 points, okay, that means if it is 10 plus this one, again you will get 20. If you add this point, that means this height and this height, you will again get like this. Then here it is maximum. Then that means when you add all the energies, you will get the total energy always constant. Okay, so this is the energy total, very important graph. Okay, showing the mean position and the extreme position. That means if this distance is the amplitude plus amplitude, this distance is the negative amplitude. Okay, and here you have got y and here you got energy. If you draw the energy and y all the three in a graph, you will get this equation, this graph. Okay. Yes, who left? Masha Sanjita. Where is Fareen? Fareen left. All right. Now what we are going to see is damped and undamped oscillation. Damped and undamped oscillation. First of all, let us see undamped oscillation. In undamped oscillation, okay, two things. Number one, total energy remains constant. Okay, there is no external force acting on the system, acting against the system. Okay, so in this one, in an undamped, no external force acts on the system, acts against the motion. Now, assume that there is a swing. Assume that this is a swing. You are on a swing. And if there is no air resistance on you, assume that you are swinging in a vacuum where there is no air resistance, no friction, no other opposing force. Then if somebody lifts you up to a certain position, then you will continue oscillating forever with the same amplitude. Okay, you will continue oscillating forever with the same amplitude. Such an oscillation is called undamped oscillation. So there is no external force acting against the motion. So as a result, what happens? It continues to oscillate forever, continues to oscillate with constant amplitude. Okay, that means in the first position, if you went this much high up, then every time you will reach the same height and you will never stop. So energy is not dissipated. Third point. Okay, so the total energy of the system remains constant. Energy of the system remains constant, or no energy loss. This is called undamped oscillation. Clear? So what are the first conditions? There is no energy, no external force acting against the motion. Therefore, that means the amplitude, constant amplitude. That means, and so the energy of the system remains constant and no energy loss. How will the graph, how will the graph of such undamped oscillation, if this is the mean position, if this is the displacement axis, then you can say if the initial displacement is like this, then the displacement will be like this. Okay, you can see constant amplitude. Here you got Y, here you got T. Understand? Here also it is A. Here also it is A. Here also it is A. The height remains the same. Such an oscillation is called undamped oscillation. Clear?
Yes, miss.
Now, what is damped oscillation then? The opposite of all those things. Okay, damped oscillation. All right, damped oscillation means there is an external force. What are the points? There is an external force acting against the motion. Okay, this external force could be friction, air resistance, or a force applied in the opposite direction. That means as you swing, one of your friend pushes you from the opposite direction. That means if you are moving this way, your friend pushes you like that. If you are going that way, then the friend pushes you from there against that. Okay, external force acting. As a result, what happens? Amplitude does not remain constant, or so energy is lost. Therefore, it's the oscillation will stop after some time. Okay, so how will you draw the graph of that? Displacement against time graph will be, if you had this much amplitude in the beginning, then the amplitude decreases, and this one doesn't go up to this because some of the energy is lost, right? And then this one doesn't go up to that height, right? And then here again, this one doesn't go up to this. So like that, it undergoes few more oscillation with continuously decreasing amplitude. Here, what was the decrease in the amplitude? This was in the beginning. See, the amplitude decreased to 0. Here also, the amplitude decreased to 0. Okay, the decrease in the amplitude. This is a damped oscillation. Okay, for example, this happens practically in all the cases where if you are swinging due to air resistance and friction of the hinges, all those things causes you to stop. Okay, so you are, when you swing, and if you're getting stopped after some time, you are performing damped oscillation. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now this is damped oscillation. Now there are many types of damped oscillation. Number one, lightly damped. What do you mean by lightly damped? That means there is continuous opposing force. Okay, the opposing force is happening continuously, therefore the amplitude decreases. See, you can see here, this is a light damped oscillation. Here, amplitude gradually decreases, but it continues to oscillate few more times before coming to rest. Okay, it does oscillate, you can see oscillation, but every time the amplitude decreases and finally goes back to 0. So lightly damped. Okay, lightly damped means it comes to rest after many oscillation. Okay, so this is one important property. It is lightly damped. Now, what is the next one? Heavy damped. Okay, heavy heavy damped, and then later critical damping. Over damping. Okay, now next is heavily damped. There are different books, you will see different names for these, okay. Heavy damping means what? Okay, this is also called over damped. So in heavy damping, what happens? This amplitude decreases, but it won't take such a long time to. It will not take such a long time for this to get decreased. So heavily damped means, or over damped means the amplitude decreases slower than critical damping. Amplitude decreases slowly. Okay, no, not so slowly, fast. Okay, for example, how will you draw heavy damping over here? Heavy damping, you can see it here like this. It may not undergo many oscillation, but it follows a path like this, and it may come to rest over here, something like that. So this is heavily damped. Okay, heavily damped. And the third case is critical damping. Critical damping means it comes to rest immediately. Okay, critical damping, if I show, okay, like this, abruptly, it comes to rest. Critical damping. Okay, critical damping. So this is important: critically damped, over damped, and under damped. Okay, so now we have very little left, that is resonance. What do you mean by resonance? What do you mean by resonance? Many of the music devices work by resonance. Or okay, or before we learn about that, let's learn what is free oscillation and forced oscillation. Free and forced okay, what is free oscillation? Okay, what is free oscillation? Free oscillation is also called a natural oscillation. Okay, so what does that mean? Any object, if you displace it to certain distance, or any object which makes the vibration. For example, if this is a metal steel, and if you hit it quickly, so you can see that this one undergoing simple harmonic motion. Okay, so every object has a fixed value for its resonance. Okay, for its resonance. Or free oscillation means when there is, okay, when there is no external forces continuously acting. Forces continuously acting on the system, it will vibrate with a frequency. That means it makes oscillation freely on its own. There is nothing to damp it. Okay, so when an object does like that, then its frequency is called a natural frequency. Okay, when there is no external forces acting on the system, it will oscillate or vibrate at its natural frequency. Every object has its own natural frequency. Now, what is forced vibration? Vibration or oscillation. Forced oscillation means, okay, for example, this damped one is an example for forced oscillation. Okay, see, look here. Assume that you are in a swing and you know that there is external forces acting and you will make this kind of motion and finally you will come to rest, right? So you don't want this to come under rest. So what do we do? Every time when it passes, say for example, this position, we give an additional force. And not only once, we keep giving forces at every of these turning points. Okay, so such now all these are external forces. So if you give some external force with the intention that the amplitude may rise, that is called forced oscillation. Okay. So free oscillation and forced oscillation. So in free oscillation, all objects when vibrated will move it with a natural frequency. Forced oscillation means you want to continue it swinging for a longer time. So what do? We ask somebody to push you every time you turn this one. So this is called forced oscillation. Now what is the importance is that if the frequency of this applied force, what does that mean? How quickly you are applying the force, okay, or what is the time interval between each push. So when the frequency of the force vibration is equal to the natural frequency, then its amplitude increases. That is called resonance. Okay, so that means if you are doing this experiment with sound, you will see a bigger sound, a louder sound. All right. So what is forced oscillation? When vibration arises, when the system oscillates due to an input of an external agency. Here, the oscillation happens at the extents at the okay, or due to an external force which acts continuously. Okay, the oscillation happens due to the external force which happens continuously is called forced oscillation. And the important is that if the frequency of the forced oscillation and the frequency of natural, okay, and the natural frequency are same, then the amplitude increases. Okay, amplitude increases. That means if, okay, assume that you have a damped oscillation which is like this. Now what you did, so now here you can see that the amplitude is continuously reducing. So what you have to do is that either you choose certain points, okay, either here or here, you are giving a forced oscillation. So if the frequency of the forced oscillation, that means how quickly you are giving, how often you are giving the force, if that is same as the natural frequency, then the amplitude increases, and that is called resonance. Okay, so very, very important. Now this resonance has uses as well as disadvantages. Okay, that we will do it in next class. Today we'll have only 1 hour class. Okay. So I will take it now. Up to 18th, I am a bit busy. After 18th, I will take as many classes. I can take it in the morning also. In between also there are classes, but due to your Ramadan timing and all, there will be little problem. But after 18th, I will be mostly free.
But Miss, if you take the classes now in between, like, what time will it be?
What now your Ramzan, your fasting is at 6 o'clock, right? When is your fasting?
At 6.
6. So 5:30 to 6:30. 5:30 to 6:30 is not suitable for you, right?
No, Miss.
Yeah, I understand. So that is why 6:30 also it's too early for you to start.
Yes.
So 7 is the best time, right?
But Miss, we have prayer after that.
Oh, when?
It's from, yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so you want to have it in the morning time, huh?
Yes, Miss. Either morning time or like late night.
Oh, late night.
Miss,
It is
around
not okay.
9:30, like that, it's fine.
In the
Like from 9:30 till 2 a.m., no problem.
okay. So I will, when I am free now. This week especially, I am a bit busy. But next week I will try to adjust my time. And 18th onwards, I will be definitely free. Huh?
Miss, so if you take class, then you can.
If you take, I will take it in the morning, or like 1 hour classes we will take.
Okay, Miss, no problem.
Okay, like this 1 hour classes I will take for 1 week. Huh? AM. That time will you be awake? You sleep after 5 and will you wake up after 8 o'clock? 3 hours later. Difficult again. Okay, anyway, for this week, I may have 1 hour classes, and from 18th onwards, I will be free to take in your own convenient time, daytime. Okay?
Okay, Miss.
Okay, then. Yeah. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Miss.